Okay, so today we're going to be talking about mindfulness-based stress reduction. And the founder was Jon Kabat-Zinn. He's actually an American born in New York City. He was born into a non-practicing Jewish family, but he studied Buddhism. A little bit of background on him. He went to MIT. He protested war research there, and he also protested the Vietnam War. He protested the war right alongside Black Panthers and was also arrested, had been abused by the police. But he ended up creating a program which helped a lot of people reduce their anxiety and live more peaceful lives. So he founded mindfulness-based stress reduction in 1979. He's still going. He's still a leader in the field and still leading classes. So mindfulness-based stress reduction, you can think of it as having two parents. One is Buddhism and one is modern Western psychology. So mindfulness-based stress reduction is where those two ideologies meet, even though before they were not thought to be compatible. So Buddhism has a few teachings that they teach that you should cherish others, and similar to Christianity, they actually believe that you should cherish others above your own self. So they believe that naturally people cherish themselves above everything else, and that's what causes all of the problems of the human experience. So I cherish myself more than another person, so I steal from them, or I kill them, or I just don't help them when I see them in need. So that's what they believe causes problems. And so they think that the way to cherish others is to start by meditating on just the idea of cherishing others. And that would lead to compassion. And they do that through mindfulness. And they also believe in detachment. So they believe basically that there are a lot of illusions, that we live in an illusion for a world, that you are an illusion. The idea of the self is an illusion. And so that's why it's wrong. It's a lie to believe that you're more important, because really we're all going to reach nirvana and be part of the world's soul. So if I believe that I'm more important than someone, that's a lie, because I'm not really even a distinct person. And so when they meditate, they want to detach from that idea of self so that they can cherish others and eventually become enlightened and reach nirvana. So that's Buddhism, just in a nutshell, which is just one parent of mindfulness-based stress reduction. The other is psychology, which we know we want to learn about behaviors, study them, categorize them, and change behaviors that harm self or others. And psychology can obviously be used by people of any faith, but modern Western psychology is largely secular. So they don't focus on glorifying God. They mostly focus on just being happy for your own self. So mindfulness-based stress reduction began as an 8-week course with Jon Kabat-Zinn and his colleagues. It still largely is in the 8-week course format. He intended it to come across as secular and Western, even though he actually is a practicing Buddhist. He didn't market it as a Buddhist technique. He actually used the word flaky in an interview. He didn't want it to appear flaky, like New Age. He wanted it to appeal to the Western intellectual that wanted to reduce stress. And there's also some backlash from Buddhists about the 8-week course model, because Buddhism is obviously really important to people that have grown up believing in Buddhism, and to present mindfulness in an 8-week course, it can come across a little bit happy-go-lucky compared to a lifestyle of meditating. But it's just a starting point for a lot of people. So today it's still in 8-week course format most of the time, and it can come with yoga, breathing techniques, and just talking about mindfulness. Just you're supposed to think about your present experiences, psychologically, physically, everything that you're going through, and think about it non-judgmentally. So you're supposed to detach yourself from those feelings and just observe them. And that's supposed to help you not be so overwhelmed with what you're feeling and going through, and to just relax. And it's gaining popularity. There are many, many courses. Um, it's even used in branches of the military. So it's very popular. And it's also in America, it's in the UK. It's pretty popular in the West. So the worldview behind mindfulness-based stress reduction, that it's marketed as secular. So you don't need to believe in a God to practice mindfulness-based stress reduction. Really, they don't present a God at all in the classes. You're supposed to find contentment and be happy. And one way that it's probably different from Buddhism is that it's not so much an emphasis on cherishing others. It's really just to reduce your own stress and cherish yourself. But behind that, you can still find some Buddhist roots. So you can still see that you're supposed to be able to detach and not feel so caught up in yourself. So, and for some people, that can be very distressing and can actually cause some psychological symptoms like panic. But John Kabat-Zinn would say that that doesn't happen in most cases, and so that it's pretty safe to practice mindfulness-based stress reduction. Compared to biblical counseling, in the biblical authoritative model, mindfulness-based stress reduction believes that there is no God. Biblical counseling would teach that there is one true God. So mindfulness-based stress reduction would teach that you should just try to be happy and less stressed. And biblical counseling teaches that really, no matter what, at the end of the day, your goal is to glorify God. And mindfulness-based stress reduction, because of its Buddhist roots, teaches that you should detach from yourself. And Christianity does teach that you should value others more important than yourself, but it also affirms the idea that every individual is an eternal being, and even in heaven, you don't simply join the world soul and forget about what you were as an individual, and that you don't reincarnate and be several different individuals. You will stay who you are even into eternity, just getting better and becoming more like Christ. And so at the heart of the matter, it may feel nice to detach from suffering for a little while, but God's word offers help for navigating problems and glorifying God. So mindfulness-based stress reduction can give people some techniques that help them feel more relaxed, but it doesn't give people any truth or guidelines to actually fixing their problems or actually glorifying God. Whereas Christians have the Bible to help them navigate each problem, advice for dealing with friends, with family, relationship with God, relationship with self, trusting God. And so that can actually help people problem solve better if they believe in the Bible. So my conclusion is that mindfulness-based stress reduction offers some help and relaxation, but it's nothing compared to the comfort that Christ offers people. So John 14:27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." And that's just a sample of the comfort that the Bible offers. And it also offers practical help for each situation. And I think that what's so great about biblical counseling is that it can often be done just in a one-on-one session, and really get to the heart of the matter that people are dealing with, rather than in such a large context where you're all just practicing yoga and trying to feel better. It can address sin issues too. So whereas mindfulness-based stress reduction, being secular, doesn't want to talk about sin so much, the Bible can deal with sin issues, which can in turn help you to overcome a lot of the problems that you have in your life. So that's just a little bit about mindfulness-based stress reduction. And I hope that answers any questions you might have about it.